Hi all, welcome to Star Agile's YouTube channel. I am Vishak and today we'll take a deep dive into the chapter 3 of our comprehensive PMP course where we will learn about project life cycles. Before we jump in, I just want you to ensure that you guys are in the right hands. About my background, I breathe project management throughout my career. My experience spans across companies like Ingersoll Rand, Ola Caps, Ernst & Young, which spans across different domains like manufacturing, e-commerce and consulting. About my training background, more than 10,000 people have passed PMP exam through me. And the founder of PMP, Lee Lambert, lovingly calls me PMP production machine. So, whether you are stepping into the field of project management or you are already having a feeling that you are managing project, not leading it, I want to lead project with confidence. Like that, if you are stuck in your mind, I am here to take you to the destination. If you are aiming to get PMP certified by PMI, check out this Star Agile course link in the description. I will personally take you throughout this journey. Let's get this started. Now, let us dive into a new topic called as project life cycle. You know, human beings are of different kinds, different nature, different behavior. The way they grown up may be different. The way they are born itself may be different. We don't treat every human being the same way. Some people, you need to be very soft-spoken to them. Some people, even if you tell something, oh my God, I forgot this thing, they will tell, okay, we can manage. Like that. They are so adaptable. They are so flexible. So, some people, if you tell them, I will be there by 10 a.m. If you are late by 2 minutes, they will tell, you told 10 a.m., right? Now you are late by 2 minutes. What is this? Like that. So, different people are having different nature. And we all human beings know how to deal with different people. Correct, right? We don't deal with all the people the same way. Just like that, projects are also like that. Not all projects have got the same goal. Not all projects have got the same style of delivery. Different projects, we should understand the life cycle very well before we start. Otherwise, we will end up going in the wrong direction. Let us get into that topic. So what you see here on the screen, you have got 4 different life cycles: incremental, agile, predictive, iterative. Now, predictive is also called as very common. I think most of you guys who are listening to this video, you would have heard about predictive. Predictive means plan-driven, traditional, sequential. Yeah, you know, right? Typically, road construction of a dream house, Egyptians built pyramids, Taj Mahal, everything is an outcome of predictive style of projects. You do something well planned and then you jump into execution or construction. That is what is predictive style of delivery. Now look at this. If you look at the graph, it has got 2 axes, the x-axis and the y-axis. The x-axis is denoting the degree of change. What it means is, from the beginning of the project till the end of the project, what is that change? How much change the project will undergo? So there are 2 categories. If you see on the left it is low, on the right it is high. Same is the case with frequency of delivery. Frequency of delivery in the sense, how many times the product is being delivered to the customer, to the end users. In some cases, we will deliver in multiple packets. We will see about it later. But what do you mean by this frequency of delivery? Is the project delivered in a single shot? I mean the outcome. Is it coming as a big bang? Or are we delivering it in pieces? That is what is one way to identify. Now, if you look at predictive, what is the characteristics of predictive? Or if I put the question in a different way, under what circumstances we should go with predictive? When the frequency of delivery is low, 1 time only, 2 time only, we cannot deliver it 100 times. That's when predictive is working well. And the degree of change is also low. I will tell an example. Let's say all of you have a dream house expectation. You built your dream house only once. You will not get the house delivered in multiple deliveries. We all organize housewarming, right? Housewarming means what? A particular day in which you are stepping into your dream house. That is what we call as a housewarming day. So that is a major milestone in your life. So to reach that milestone, you would have spent 3 years maybe, 2 years maybe. But the final house delivery happened in a single shot. So the frequency of delivery is low in Predictive. What about the degree of change? That is also low. When you build your dream house, you meet an architect and you tell to that architect your expectations. Boss, this is how my dream house should look like. It should have 2 floors. And in the ground floor, there should be a kitchen and there should be 1 bedroom. And in the above floor, there should be 2 bedrooms and a living room. Like that and all, you will tell your expectations. I need 1 car parking space. There should be a beautiful garden in front of your house. Like that and all, you will tell your expectations to the architect. And he would have built a building plan based on that. And he would have started construction also. Just imagine, while he started construction, you are going to him with a change. You are telling that, boss, I got 1 new baby in my home. Can I have 1 more bedroom, please? Like that, when you tell to the architect, how does it sound like? It will be difficult because the entire building plan is built on your initial assumption that you need 2 bedroom, you need 3 bedroom, something like that. We can have changes. I'm not telling that we cannot have changes, but changes like this, the degree of change should be quite low. We can change on the flooring. We can say, hey, initially I told you I need marble, but can we have tiles? Like that and all, we can change the requirement which are manageable, but we cannot change the number of bedrooms or number of floors, etc., in the middle of execution. That is why we say in Predictive, the degree of change is low. Now, moving to the right side, we have got Iterative. Iteration itself means repetition, repeating the same experiment. So when you repeat the same experiment, what will happen? The degree of change is high. First time you had a set of requirements. With that requirement, you did an experiment. Once the result you got, you thought, okay, this time I got this result. Let me redo the experiment 1 more time. Like that you will think. So that is what is iterative. And when it comes to incremental, look at the difference between iterative and incremental. In incremental, the frequency of delivery is high. If you are the customer, I'll be delivering the product in multiple packets over a period of time. In 3 months, I'll deliver something. After that, after some 2 months, I will deliver something else. You are my customer. That is what is incremental. So let us have a look at incremental and iterative in the same frame. In iterative, the degree of change is high. At the same time, the frequency of delivery is low. You do the experiment again and again, but finally what you deliver will not be in multiple packets. It will be in single shot. That's what happens in iterative. For example, you take in your school, you are doing an experiment. There is an experiment to detect a compound. So that you will do multiple times. But finally, 1 time only you will tell, sir, the result is this. I identified the compound. Like that you will tell only once. So the frequency of delivery is low in iterative. Now, the frequency of delivery is high in incremental. I told you, right? Because we are delivering in small packets. We are delivering in increments. But the degree of change will be low. More or less, we are sticking to the same product line only. Only thing is we are breaking that into bits and pieces. We are not doing much magical innovation. I clearly understood, sir, what you want. You do one thing, I will deliver it to you in bits and pieces. So the degree of change will be low when you go with incremental. And finally, Agile. Agile as a project lifecycle, I would say it's a marriage of iteration and increments. You have both iterative as well as incremental lifecycle. Because in Agile, the frequency of delivery is also high and the degree of change is also high. Because you have got a customer and you value the customer's words. So whatever the customer is telling, you are ready to accommodate that change in Agile. At the same time, you are delivering to the customer in small increments, small packets. That's what we say holistically as Agile. So hope we are all clear, we are all on the same page. What is the purpose of this slide? The purpose of this graph is, depending on how much frequent is your delivery and how much big is your change, we have to decide the life cycle. Now, let us take a deep dive on each of the project life cycle and its characteristics. If you look at predictive, if you study the requirements, what I have to bring to your attention is the requirements are fixed. In fact, I would say the requirements are frozen or finalized. This is a way of putting it. Because we cannot afford for any changes. In fact, we hate changes in predictive. Because based on the initial requirements only, we have built the whole plan, the whole design. The whole documentation is done based on the initial requirements. Now, if you change those requirements, it will be difficult. The rework cost will be difficult. The rework efforts will be very difficult. So what do we do usually? We say the requirements are fixed or frozen. Now, if you look at iterative, incremental as well as agile, in all three, what is the characteristics you can notice? The requirements are dynamic. It's okay, boss. What changes you have, you tell me. We can do it. We can think of it. There is a chance. There is a hope. I can think of dynamic requirements. Because we are not moving into a clear documentation and then starting the execution. We are trial and erroring. We are experimenting. So that requirements can be dynamic when it comes to iterative, incremental and agile. Now, look at the activities. In predictive, the activities are performed once for the entire project. What does that mean is, you are building your dream house. You do the painting work, you do the electrical work, you do the, setting of the walls, everything you will do only once for your dream house. Maybe the contractor will do this exercise for another house. But for your house, the activities will happen once for the entire project. But look at iterative. In iterative, the activities are repeated till a correct solution is obtained. Because till the correct solution is not obtained, you keep repeating the activities. That is what happens in iterative. For example, remember in your school days, if you have done some experiments, let's say in chemistry lab, you have been given an experiment to detect an unknown compound. So you will do some experiment, titration and all. Actually, I am not comfortable with those in my school days. So finally, we have to detect what was that salt which we identified, what was that acid, what was that base, like that and all we have to identify. So we have to do multiple iterations, trial and error, till we get the correct solution. But the moment we get correct solution, it is frozen. Okay, so please understand, in an iterative style, the delivery happens in a single shot. We will be repeating the experiments. But once the delivery is done, it is not done in bits and pieces. It will be done in a single shot, which is same as the case of predictive delivery. In predictive also, a house or a car, will you get in bits and pieces? No. There is a particular day in which the builder will tell the house is ready for possession. In 1 year from today, Vishak, the house will be ready for possession. This is what the builder will tell. So, in predictive, the delivery happens in a single shot. Now, if you look at incremental, the activities are performed once per increment. Because in incremental, I will elaborate more in the subsequent slides. Please understand, the entire product is delivered in small pieces. Okay, so in every rectangle which I have drawn here is an increment. So the activities are repeated in every increment one time, but it will be in different increments. For example, in this increment, I do all this design, develop and testing, and finally I will launch it. In this increment, I will design, develop, testing, and finally I will launch. Don't worry about it. The remaining slides cover each of this life cycle in a detailed way. You will get more idea. Now, the delivery happens in incremental in small packets, because the moment this one is done, let's say I put a tick mark for this rectangle, it is pushed to the customer. The moment this one is done, it is pushed to the customer. Frequent small deliveries. And the goal of incremental delivery is speed. At the same time, the goal of iterative delivery is correctness of solution. Correctness of solution means, in iterative, I am switching between iterative and incremental. It should be switched in such a way that we understand the difference very clearly. In iterative, the goal is correctness of solution, perfection. Till the correct result is obtained, repeat it. But in incremental, the goal is speed. Or in fact, I would love to add one more statement here, early go to market. Early go to market. That is the beauty of incremental, because our aim is speed. Okay, or how quick we can push to the market. Now, when it comes to agile, I would say if required, some activities are repeated until a correct solution is obtained, because sometimes we may have to do trial and error. We may have to try different design concepts so that we are able to deliver the product in the best way. But the delivery will be happening in small packets. If you look at agile, it's a beautiful chemistry. It's a marriage of incremental and iterative. See, in incremental, the activities are repeated until correct. The same characteristics is reflecting in agile. In incremental, the delivery happens in small packets. Here also the delivery happens in small packets. So I would say agile includes this behavior of iterative and this behavior of incremental. Look at this. That's how it works. And when it comes to goal, in predictive, the goal is to manage cost. Big projects. If you check in news also, how do they put, a $500 million mega project, 2,000 crore project? Like that only they put in news. Whether it is a highway construction or whether it is building a bridge or building a new township, everything they tell only in cost metric, in predictive. But in agile, it is customer value via frequent deliveries and feedback. I would say in agile, I am respecting the words of the customer in the middle of the project execution. That is what it means by customer value. Some people have a confusion. So in predictive, are we not valuing customers? Like that you will have a question. In predictive also, we are valuing the customers, but not after the requirements are fixed. Please understand. We give enough time for the customer to fix his requirements. But after that, 1 month down the line, if the customer is telling, hey, I have a new requirement, my attitude will be different. What you were doing all these days, like that I cannot ask to the customer, but we will tell that, boss, we have fixed the requirements. I have started my homework. I have started my hands, making my hands dirty. Now if you tell this new requirement, it will be difficult. Like that, we will tell to the customer in predictive. But in agile, we are able to bring that customer value because of the constant feedback loop. In the remaining slides, we will cover those. At the same time, in agile, we focus on frequent deliveries. So this is the whole idea of the project lifecycle. Each project lifecycle has got its own pros and cons. Please don't reach a conclusion. I have a request. I have seen a lot of the project managers, including experienced project managers. You know what do? They keep debating. Hey, predictive is better. Agile is better. Hold on. Let's discuss each of them in detail. There is nothing like one is better than the other. Each one is good in its own way. Now, let us take a deep dive into predictive lifecycle. As you can see, in predictive, we can see a project manager who is looking at the Gantt chart, which was prepared way back. I would say in some projects, the Gantt charts will be spanning across for 3 years, 4 years, 7 years, 10 years. That much plan is what is undergoing when you do projects in a predictive way. And predictive is heavily, documentation oriented. What you can see here is a screenshot of the risk impact matrix, which is there. So there is a lot of documentation involved in predictive. And just to reiterate, the requirements are fixed. Whether you are building a stadium or a highway, I told, right? Get everything in paper. Let's spend maximum time on paperwork. That is what is the belief if you are going ahead with predictive. And the activities are performed once. We don't have a choice. We don't have a luxury of repeating the activities again and again. And the delivery happens in a single shot. The role of a project manager in predictive is to manage cost. Think of a movie. A movie have got a clear script. The director or the script writer have put the whole plot in a script. And the script is being enacted by the actors. Just imagine can the actors in the mid of the movie, can they act in a different way? Or in the climax, can the climax be changed to a different plot? It will ruin the whole feel of the movie. I would say predictive projects are like a movie. It's all well planned, well scripted, well put everything, timeline, cost, everything is put in paper. And we expect the whole execution to follow the plan, whatever we have put in paper, whether it is in terms of timeline or whether it is in terms of cost. If you try to disturb it, then the entire project will be ruined. And in a movie also, some thrilling movies, the twist is in the climax. We have to wait till the climax. I would say predictive projects are like thrilling movies. You have to wait till the end to get that complete feel of the movie. Just like that, in a predictive project, the final product will be delivered only in the end with a big bang. It is not conveyed in bits and pieces. The customer will not have a feel of the product intermediately. Maybe some report will go, maybe some documentation will go, but the final product unveiling will happen on a particular day once the project is over. You have to wait for 3 years, maybe 4 years. Again, connect with the same example I told you, you building your dream house. The architect will show you some building plans, some floor plans. This is the material we are using for flooring, everything. But there is a particular day in which you can see the whole house ready. A car, an aircraft, a bridge, a metro in a new city. A metro in a new city, there will be a lot of construction happening. There will be metro stations being setting up. There will be metro lines being put up by a different team. But finally, in news, we will see the city is going to have its metro inaugurated in next 30 days. The minister is going to come and do the inauguration. Like that you will see, right? So that unveiling concept is there in predictive. So please understand, there is enough of documentation, paperwork when it comes to predictive. Some people will think too much of planning and we are wasting time. No. Many successful projects are because of the very major chunk of planning we are doing initially. It's not simply we are spending time on meaningless paperwork. So respect predictive in those situations wherever you feel the requirements need to be clarified initially and there is maximum documentation needed. We believe in perfection, not in hurrying up. Are you getting that message? If you are doing projects in a predictive way, we believe in perfection, not in hurrying up. The next slide is, we are going to talk about iterative life cycle. As I told you, as you can see from the images, it is one scientist. He is busy with developing some compound, maybe a vaccine, maybe a medicine, maybe a new solution which can be helpful to withstand long hunger, a new food composition which space scientists can use when they travel in the outer space. I don't know what this scientist is preparing, but anyway, he's having a good determination. He's doing the same experiment again and again till the correct solution is obtained. But once he repeats the same experiment again and again, he will have some learning. Last time when I did the experiment, something wrong happened. Last time when I did the experiment, there was something which you could have done in a better way. Like that, he has a feeling. So the requirements are dynamic. Next time when you repeat the experiment, slightly he will try to modify the requirements. But still the overall idea will remain the same. And finally, the scientist, he will announce the whole world that, oh wow, eureka, I have found out the vaccine, I have developed the medicine, like that. That is what is this iteration. You keep repeating, there is no hurry. You keep repeating till you get the correct solution. There is no hurry, you repeat till the correct solution is obtained. So the goal is correctness of solution. And we keep repeating the activities until that correct solution is obtained. So the examples can be a variety. Think of putting a rocket to moon, putting a rocket to Mars. Moon we could achieve, man could land on moon. But let's think about a dream project where we are putting man to a new planet, let's say Jupiter. So what they will do? They will do multiple trial and error. Multiple times the attempt would have happened. First, they will send an unmanned vehicle to Jupiter to see how it is coming back. Is it coming back safely? Then they will try to send a dog. We cannot play with, it's not that dog's life is considered as secondary, but that is how, if you look at this space journey, It is first they would try to send some monkey, a pig or a dog or something like that and see how is it coming back. Then they will try to put safely human beings, because we cannot risk on human life. So multiple iterations is happening till the correct solution is obtained. And in every iteration, we are learning some better way of doing things. So my requirements are getting dynamically progressing in a good direction, but also I am towards my goal of correctness of solution. Look at this. This is more of a scientific space launch kind of thing. Okay, like we are planning to put man in moon. Okay, let's say we may have to build multiple prototype of rockets. First time the attempt may not be successful. So please, let's come back to our word meaning of iteration. Iteration means you repeat until correct solution is obtained. There is no compromise in quality. There is no hurry for the customer. Now let's move to the third life cycle, the incremental life cycle. So in incremental life cycle, what happens? The important point here is the delivery happens in small packets. Frequent small delivery is the beauty of incremental, because this is useful in those markets, in those situations where we have a early go-to-market kind of a pressure. Do you remember how we all were using WhatsApp? It's been almost 10 years since we started using WhatsApp. But I would request you guys take a moment to understand how was WhatsApp initially. There was only one pitch for WhatsApp, if I remember correctly. Are you topping up your SMS? Do you have to pay per SMS to message someone? Don't worry. If you have an internet data pack, you can message someone unlimited number of times, 24/7. That was the pitch of WhatsApp. I'm telling a decade ago, 10 years back. So what was WhatsApp's initial, I would say the minimum viable product when WhatsApp initially launched was, we have a messaging app. If you have internet, if you have a 5G connection, 4G connection, 3G connection, whatever, I don't care. Do you have an internet in your phone? In that case, you can send unlimited messages. This was the pitch of WhatsApp. But we all started downloading WhatsApp and we started using it. While we are using WhatsApp, that is the point. While we are using the WhatsApp, that is what we say as working software. While we are using the working software, we means we all are end customers of WhatsApp. The developers in WhatsApp, they were working on better features. Rome was not built in a day. Now you know in WhatsApp, we have got video calling features, group calling features. We have got an option of deleting message after one scene, deleting a photo after one scene. Then we have got an option to voice record and send it to the other person. We can use emojis. What else? We can use WhatsApp for payment. But all these were added to the WhatsApp over a period of time in the form of update. Sometimes when we try to use our phone, when you unlock your phone, it will tell click update. Some app. So in case you click update for WhatsApp, then some update will happen and you will see new features added to the WhatsApp. You don't have to go to any shop. You don't have to exchange your old WhatsApp to get a new WhatsApp. It has been built into your phone already while you are using the previous version of WhatsApp. That is why we say frequent small deliveries, frequent partial deliveries. Now, what is the goal when you go with incremental? Speed. Speed, or I repeat again, early go to market. Just imagine if WhatsApp was late to the market by an year. I can guarantee we won't be using WhatsApp now. We would have been using some other competitor app. I don't know. So that early go to market is very, very important. Get into the smartphone of someone. Quickly let people download it. Then if you want to add more features, we can do it, bro, over a period of time. That is the message of incremental. Look at this, how a screen evolves. First of all, the app had only a basic login. Then they have added profile. Then they have added settings, chat, everything. But initially, if you think that, okay, I will add settings, I will add options for chatting, I will add options for introducing avatar, everything, if you keep thinking, you will never launch an app. So related to incremental, Please remember MVP, minimum viable product. That is the key. Get an MVP quickly to the market. Minimum viable product, which is with the bare minimum features what the customer want. If the customers are loving it, that's great. They will download it, and you can see in the background that the customers are using the app, how much time they are using, what all features are using, everything we can see in an incremental project delivery, because that's what we say. I think whenever you download an application or whenever you visit a website, we click on accept cookies. User analytics can be taken like that. We give permission, we customers, we give permission for the app company to watch our behavior. Based on that, they will improve the next release. That is what is incremental delivery. So in incremental delivery, what happens? We deliver in small packets. Please understand. So this is one packet. This is delivered in the form of MVP. The same app, new features will be added in the next release, release 1. Then next release 2. We cannot tell it is over. Still, if there is any wish, we can add it in the upcoming releases. That is what is the beauty of incremental delivery. So let us start the new topic, Agile Lifecycle. So if you notice, as we have covered in the original table, Agile is something which beautifully incorporates the concept of iterative as well as incremental. The requirements are dynamic, no doubt in that. But look at the behavior of Agile. When it comes to activities, the activities are repeated until correct solution is obtained. Have you heard this? Repeated until correct solution is obtained? Type in the chat. In which life cycle today, in the same video, we spoke about this. Now, what about the delivery? The delivery happened in frequent small deliveries. This is also a trait of Agile. But in the same video, we have discussed about this delivery style for a previous delivery style. Type that in the chat. So, that is what I was telling. Agile incorporates both iterative and incremental. But the goal is slightly different. The goal is customer value via feedback. Yes, we do care about the customers, what features they are using, what functionalities they are using. We do care about that. At the same time, we value their opinion. And based on their opinion, we build better products and deliver to the customer in the next update. That is what is Agile. So, if you are with a predictive mindset, we will say, I hate changes. But if you are with an Agile mindset, you will tell, that's what we are here for. It's okay. That's why we are doing it in an Agile way. We welcome changes. We embrace change. That's the way Agile projects work. Now that doesn't mean that, okay, learn from Agile people. They are good. How much they are accommodative. Like that, we should never tell to a project manager who is working in a predictive project. Because predictive works in a different way. Predictive, we go in a very sequential way. Documentation followed by execution. Here we have the luxury to accommodate changes from the customer through delivering working software. Just try to recollect the examples I have told. For example, WhatsApp, I told no how WhatsApp was initially, what features we were using. We all are end customers. I presenting in front of you people are my students. Everyone who is watching this video, we all are end users of the company WhatsApp. We all used different features of WhatsApp and we told them indirectly. No one from WhatsApp called me and asked, hey, what feature you liked? No one called me. But my behavior is being tracked by the WhatsApp development community. And that's how they are able to build new features to the product. Now, I want to tell you one myth-busting news. Many people say, hey, we are doing project in an Agile way, so we don't do any planning. I'm tired of hearing this. Many people take it for granted. You know what? When you do projects in an Agile way, there is no need of planning. But that is a myth. Planning is omnipresent in project management. Only thing is, when you plan, how much you plan. That is what is important. If you are doing projects in a predictive way, just try to recollect the whole discussion what we have today. If you are doing projects in a predictive way, you do whole lot of planning in a very initial stage, planning. Then we move into execution. That is what happens in predictive. Yes, there is more emphasis for planning, but that doesn't mean some people bend the statement. Only in predictive there is planning. That is something which I disagree. That is a myth I want to bust. Because I can tell in incremental also there is planning. Iterative also there is planning. Obviously, agile also there is planning. In iterative, don't you think we'll plan for every iteration? Iteration is not like simply an iteration. Building a prototype is an iteration. Developing a proof of concept is an iteration. So we cannot simply build a prototype from the air. Whether it is a physical product or a software, the prototype requires some sort of homework to be done. Sometimes ordering raw material. So the thing is, we cannot tell that in iterative, incremental and agile there is no planning. That planning is not to that level of detail as we see in predictive. For example, in iterative, we will think about developing a prototype in the next 2 months. That's all. How that prototype will work, what is the test result we are expecting from that prototype. These are the things we will keep in mind when we plan for a prototype using the iterative delivery. Now, in incremental also, people say, just deliver an increment, no, what is there to plan? I would say yes. Because even if we are developing in increments, do you think the people who are working in that project, they don't know the complete requirements? They know, but they are prioritizing. To prioritize, you need to have a plan. For example, I told the example of WhatsApp to you people. Do you really think the founders of WhatsApp were not aware of the video calling feature, audio calling feature in WhatsApp when they started WhatsApp a decade ago? They were knowing about it, but they thought, let's go in a very incremental manner. First, let's introduce a messaging app which works with internet. Basic messaging app. Slowly, they added more and more features. Video calling, audio calling, all these features. Trust me guys, you guys would have forgotten. When we had the video calling, audio calling features in WhatsApp, it was like a surprise for us. Oh, now once I don't have to call anyone in the normal call. I can make the call via WhatsApp. Like that, we had a magical moment. But now it is very casual. Most of us, we equally use normal calling and WhatsApp calling. But when they introduced, we already was using WhatsApp. We were using WhatsApp for messaging purpose. When this audio calling came, we were like, oh wow, thank you so much WhatsApp. They have added another feature. This is the way we told. But that feature won't come just like that. They would have done some amount of planning. So even if you deliver an increment, let's say this increment, this is what we are going to deliver. Like that, there is a clear plan and we deliver it. Next increment, this is what we are going to deliver. Like that, there is a plan and we deliver. So planning is there everywhere. To what extent, to what quantum, when and how, that is a thing. So in incremental also there is planning. Obviously, I want to tell you one more myth busting information. There is nothing like if you go to a corporate world, iterative or incremental. It is we are learning as a theoretical breakup. When you go to a corporate world, there are only two keywords, predictive or agile. That's it. So don't go and ask to someone in WhatsApp and tell, hey, you are following incremental delivery, right? Like that. They will tell, no, we are following agile. Like that. So on a broader framework, there are only two life cycles, predictive and agile, on a real life situation when I tell to you people. So obviously now you look at it, do you really think companies like WhatsApp, Facebook, they don't have any planning? They all are using agile way of delivery only. Zoom, WhatsApp, Facebook. But that doesn't mean they don't have any plan. They do have a plan. But not to that extent in which a predictive company prepares a plan for 10 years using tools like Microsoft Project. To that extent, we don't do. We plan for the upcoming release. We plan for the upcoming increment. We plan for the next iteration. But planning is there. So no project lifecycle will exist without a plan. This is a myth I wanted to break because many people defend themselves for their lack of planning. They quote, we are agile. You know, I don't care about all those now. Okay, so I feel like telling them, how can you say like that? You have to plan. Even if you are doing projects in an agile way, for that small incremental step you are taking, you have to plan. Otherwise, you will fail. Simply for lack of planning, don't quote agile as an excuse. So, after the mythbuster discussion, let's get into the hybrid life cycle. So, let's stop fighting guys. Predictive, agile, this is better, that is better. Let me tell you one truth now. If you look at all the corporates, almost 90% of the corporates, they will say they are having a hybrid structure. See, theoretically we say predictive, agile, etc. But when you do projects on a real-time basis, hybrid is the best. Now, don't ask me, okay Vishak, then tell me what is the formula for hybrid. I would say, hybrid is a call taken by each one of you guys. How much percentage you want to have a predictive approach? How much percentage you want to have an agile approach? Like that, we decide holistically and deliver the project in our own way, our own style. So, the purpose of we doing this PMP course itself is get the taste of both predictive and agile and ultimately do the projects in a hybrid way. This is what I tell to all my students. Get the best practices of predictive. Is there a good process, good tool? Okay, agile. How do they conduct ceremonies? What about the agile manifesto? Can I pick up some of the good practices of predictive and agile and do the projects in my own way? Are you getting that point? Can I pick up the best practices of predictive and agile and do the projects in my own way, like that when each one of you guys think? That is what is hybrid. Make sense? That's it. Now, when it comes to hybrid, there are multiple possibilities. That is what I want to tell. If you look at the first one, the ideal scenario is the entire project is split equally between predictive and agile. That is one scenario of hybrid we can tell. So I will denote different scenarios. Look at this. The whole project is divided into two sets. This is an agile way. This is a predictive way. This is something which is common structure I have seen for hybrid. So there is a common goal, I agree. The whole team is working towards a project, but this team is working on the adaptive side. Adaptive side, agile side means there are changes. So they should be ready for that. But this team is working on something which is very well fixed. Please use your creative brain to understand. This is the whole project right from start to end. The thing is, think of an example I will tell you. An electric car manufacturing company. Okay, electric car manufacturing company. So in an electric car manufacturing company, an electric car, ultimately, did you listen to the next word? It's a car. So wheel, suspension, steering wheel, all these are already proven technology. We have been seeing cars for the last 100 years, correct? So we know about how the cars are operating. But the electric vehicle is something which is niche. So how the new product development team in an electric car vehicle manufacturing company works, you know, there is a team which is doing the project in an agile way, which is focusing only on the electrical engine part. And there is a team which is working on the predictive part, suspension, wheel alignment, etc. But they have some common meetings where they discuss on the progress of each other. But ultimately, they are working towards a common goal of launching a car. So for an outside person, this whole thing is a project. But inside the project, we can see that the team is split into two. This team, this agile team, takes care of the software of the car. The predictive team takes care of the traditional things. I told you, right? Wheel, suspension, alignment, steering wheel, how the design of the car should be, everything. That will be how many passengers to be seated. Is that a 7-seater, 4-seater, 5-seater? Everything will be taken care by the predictive team. So this is one way of doing the hybrid project. Now, if you look at the other way, we can think of, let's say when you started the whole project, let's say this is the whole project. Okay, the first half, let's go with a predictive style. Let's say this is the whole project. The first half, let us go with a predictive side. And the second half, let us go with an agile side. There is a possibility like that, wherein you are doing a project where it involves a lot of paperwork initially, lot of approvals needed initially, lot of documents to be furnished. So you cannot go with that in an agile way. So you have to go with a predictive way only. So the first half will go in a predictive way, and the second half, the team needs to do some trial and error. Let's say the plan is all done, paperwork is all done. Can you imagine that situation? Let's say developing a vaccine. The vaccine development, the original portion will be totally plan driven. Think like that. A lot of documentation, a lot of research is needed. Some very niche kind of vaccine. So a lot of research, they have to talk to a lot of doctors and document, go through a lot of research paper. So that will go in a very plan-driven way. But the remaining part of the project, the delivery may happen in a agile way. Probably they will have, when I say agile way, please understand it can have both iterative and incremental delivery. Probably they are delivering in phases. First stage vaccine, second stage vaccine. Haven't you heard some vaccines are like that? First stage vaccine. In the meantime, the medicine team is working on the second stage vaccine. But we can roll out the first stage vaccine to the entire population. So are you getting that agility, what it means? We are not delivering in a single shot, but we are delivering in increment. That is what happens when you have such a kind of life cycle. Predictive initially and agile later. Now, the opposite can also happen. Let's think of the opposite. What is opposite? Initially it is agile and then later it turned out to be predictive. That means when you started the project, there were a lot of uncertainties. You know what? Agile works really well when there are a lot of uncertainties. So there used to be a lot of trial and error needs to be done. A lot of changes were there in the requirements. We have to build some prototype. We have to build some simulations. We have to build some proof of concept. Multiple trial and error happened. And finally, once they got a clear direction, then the delivery happened in a plan-driven way. I would say extreme R&D kind of projects, initially it will be agile because there will be a lot of trial and error. A lot of first time you will try, you will fail, you will try in a different direction, you will hit something. Okay, you will simply throw stone into the air to see how it responds. We don't have any idea. So the initial half of the project will be totally agile. But once you do some 50 experiments, then you realize, now I got 51st time onwards, now I have got a clear idea what works, what will not work. Now I will do it in a plan-driven way. Are you getting that mentality? That is when first half is agile, second half is predictive. This is also an example of hybrid. Now, another two possibilities which I can tell is, the whole project is agile. In that whole project, a small portion, we are doing it in a predictive way. This is also a classic example of hybrid. Because let's say you are doing a software rollout. It's an agile project. Agile works very well in software industries, you know, right? It's a software rollout. But in a particular stage, let's say we are interacting with a vendor. The vendor is very particular about the requirements. He needs to go in a plan-driven way. Or this particular piece we can deliver in a very sequential manner. We don't have to do much research, much experimentation, nothing needed. We are just plugging in a technology from another product into this. So it's proven. Are you getting that feeling? See, when do we go with predictive? Whenever we are confident. So in an overall project, which is fully agile, only in this portion we are confident. So that portion we are going in a plan-driven way. So this is also an example of hybrid. Now, look at the other flip side of it. The entire project is predictive, but little bit of uncertainty is there here. So that portion will go agile. So the whole project is predictive. We are going with proper documentation, proper drawings, proper diagrams. We prepared project plan in Microsoft Project, everything. But a small section of the project, there is an element of uncertainty. We may have to try multiple vendors. We may have to first build a prototype, see how it works, then refine our requirements further, like that and all. Only a small portion of that entire project. Think really big. Okay, we are developing something which is foolproof technology, but we are experimenting with a small thing. Okay, I would say something like when you are developing a car itself, okay, something innovative technology they are trying. Okay, can we use robots to measure the efficiency of the car? Something like that. The car and all ready, but we are using some robotic equipments which are built into the engine to measure the efficiency of the car. So that will involve some agile way of working. But the whole car is going in a predictive way only. The manufacturing or the design and development of the whole car goes in predictive way only, but only a small part of the project, it will go in the agile way. So these are the different possibilities. So next time when you hear the word hybrid, don't ask what do you mean by hybrid. Hybrid is on you. Have you decided what works well for you? In a real world, let me be very honest, in a real world, there is nothing like purely predictive, purely agile. It's about what you pick up from both and use in the best way you want so that the project is successful. Now, that is what about 1, 2, 3, 4 cases of using hybrid. 2, 3, 4. Now, there is another situation in which people adopt hybrid. When when the organization till this moment, they are hardcore predictive. Till this moment, they are hardcore predictive. Let's say a hardcore construction company, automotive company. For the last 50 years, they were doing projects in a plan-driven way. But their management have decided that let's go with an agile approach. The management have decided that let's go with an agile approach. But it is not like, okay, switch off predictive, switch on agile. It doesn't work like that. There should be a transition. There should be a transition period. So what happens? The predictive mindset have to be slowly ramped down, predictive mindset, and slowly the agile mindset should be brought in. So at that juncture, in that transition period, are you getting that keyword? Let's say 1 or 2 years, there will be a program manager onboarded who is an expert in both predictive and agile. So he will come up with a hybrid framework wherein small injections of predictive will happen. Sorry, small injections of agile will happen. The company is overall predictive, but small injections of agile will happen. And slowly, you will see the whole project or the whole company evolves to completely agile. So in a transition stage also, we can choose a hybrid approach. So now you will ask, can you tell some example? I would say in agile, there are ceremonies like daily stand-up. There are ceremonies like retrospective. There is backlog concept, product backlog, sprint backlog. So while you are using predictive jargons like WBS, requirement traceability metrics, all these tools you use, risk management, everything is there. But along with that, try to inject small agile practices. Let's see how the team is responding. Let's say after one release is over, after 1 week is over, let's conduct a retrospective. Don't tell the word retrospective. Team members will not know because they are till this moment they were in hybrid. They were in predictive. So bring that practice, bring that jargon to their table. So slowly we are injecting. So in a transition stage also, hybrid works really well. Now let's have a recap. The complete summary we will see. So we have taken a deep dive into predictive, iterative, incremental and agile. And we have dived into specific examples. But my dear friends, don't forget about the goal. There is nothing like a one size fits all. Please check with yourself, okay? Is my goal to manage cost? And is my requirements very fixed? I cannot change it. If I change it, will that be expensive? Will that be effort taking? Then go with predictive. Am I aiming at correctness of solution, like a lab experiment or something? In that case, go with iterative, because I want to repeat till the correct solution is obtained. Am I aiming at speed or early go to market? In that case, go with incremental, because we deliver in small packets. That's what happens when we go with incremental. And if you want a mix of both iterative and incremental, I'm ready to go with the agile approach where I value customer feedbacks and I will be delivering continuously. Frequent deliveries and customer feedback. If that is your aim, let us go with the agile lifecycle. But finally, don't forget about the hybrid. Hybrid is the best of all. You decide. Best practices of predictive, best practices of agile, everything you pick up and do the projects in your own best way. That's when you are evolving yourself as a hybrid project manager. And one more thing, don't tell that in agile there is no planning. In every life cycle there is planning. How detailed, when, to what extent you need to do the planning. That is what matters. So Agile is not an excuse for not planning anything and simply executing and miserably failing. Please understand that. So let's have a scenario match game. On the screen, you can see 4 different scenarios. You decide what life cycle will fit in what situation. For example, a hospital project. Type in the chat, for a hospital project, what life cycle will work best? For a food delivery app, think of food delivery app means something which is niche to the market. They are just experimenting with the audience. If that food delivery app first, if they are able to capture the heart of the customers, they will include more features, more functionalities. I'm giving you a hint. Now, third one, developing an AI algorithm through a prototype. It can be for anything, for investigating patients' health, or it can be for making money out of stock market, whatever. You are developing an AI algorithm prototype. And lastly, a video streaming platform. You think what life cycle suits well? I would love to see your comments in the chat. But still, I don't want to keep it in a suspense mode. I would say a hospital project, it is something predictive, because you need to build the plan, drawings, everything, and then construct. So it's a predictive thing. Now, to avoid confusion, I'll jump to the last one, video streaming platform. I would say let's do it in an agile way, because already there is this video streaming platform existing. You know YouTube, what you guys are watching right now. The thing is, there are some small increments, small trial and error, and how the customer, see, YouTube has got an analytics tab. How the customers are using the app, based on that, they will improve the YouTube platform. So Agile works very well. Now, food delivery app, think as something new to the market. I know some of you guys will be very comfortable with food delivery app, but just rewind back some 5 years back, we never had this kind of food delivery apps and all. So it is something new to the market. How the customers are using, what feedback they are giving, they will try to add new features to the food delivery app. But they want to push something to the market quickly. Otherwise, some other competitor will come up with a food delivery app. So incremental suits well. Now, finally, in AI algorithm prototype, what happens? One time you do, you learn from the mistake, you incorporate the lessons learned. When you do the prototype the next time, the moment you hear the word prototype itself, it is repeating again and again till the correct solution is obtained. That's it. Okay, that puts an end to this session. Are you serious about PMP? In that case, please click on the Star Agile course link in the description, and I will personally guide you through the entire PMP journey. By the way, did you like this video? Then don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. More videos are on the way. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.